Hmm. It's all good as long as we have a government master continues. I'm like, I'm reviewing the last video. I got cut off. It was 23 minutes long. I'm surprised because I guess I'm not done speaking. It was just a couple of words I was going to say about Peter DeFazio. Peter DeFazio um, is a good congressperson. He fights, he's very legitimate. If people like him were in Congress and in position of power like him, whether it be Democrat or Republican. I'm saying Peter DeFazio could be a Republican. He could be an independent. He could be anything he wanted, right? He chooses to be a Democrat because he's from Oregon, more liberal types of people. I'm from there, but I'm a Republican. I was raised in the military, so we're Republicans. Anyways, we try to think a lot alike. Um, somebody who's fair. So, shh, be quiet now, okay? I'm on this live air thing. I'm here, Pedro. I don't know if you can see me. It's dark, so no, that's one of my new doggies is Pedro. He's half pit, half Chihuahua. So anyhow, Peter DeFazio is fair because he does what the people tell him, and he wants to get it done. But he also listens to the government master, who he has to side with on everything, gun control, and if everything's all peachy cool, the only problem that we would have would be in our breach of security with somebody trying to infiltrate our society. If everybody in our society was having a good time, which America is one of those places where everybody is just lucky to be able to have more than what other people have in other places, but not every place. But I'm just saying, almost practically, America's a very lucky place to be, lucky place for people to be born. All of us, all of you, me, all of us are so damn lucky for being here and being born in this place. So I mean, and it's endless what we can do with the world. The UN and what Obama and them want you to think, and Democrats want you to think. Over here, we have to side with these guys over here and unify the world with that. That's not the truth. What you do, okay, is an example for the next person. So I say we do here, the better we do here, the more people are going to see that out there. We don't have to go to war with them because they have a problem with us or because we want something over there. We have to give an example to the world on how to be and how to set the tone, and then the rest will follow that. So America is technically the real United Nations, not the fake one that you have over there right now, who takes bribes, who will sit there and they'll talk smack, they'll get us into trouble and everybody else until the point in time comes when they get scared, and then they'll cower. Okay, we're Americans. We don't typically do that. If they're trying to also get us to a point where we will get scared and then we'll cower and be cowards to the world, we might as well give our country up. Like Obama wants. Obama has been signing documents giving our country away. At the same time, people are thinking, oh, I have to please my government master for showering me with uh, welfare, a phone, and shit like that. Just gifts that whatever he thinks he's going to do. And people don't know history. It's really kind of scary because nobody really knows. Some other guy, good guy, could come and become John F. Kennedy tomorrow here, and we're all saved. Except him, he puts his head out there to get blown off for everybody. Okay, unless we get that, and then we need to take care of and make sure that that president is safe and doesn't get his head blown off. Um, you know, then until that happens, we're just beating a dead horse. We've got this government master who people believe they're on welfare, that if they don't vote for him and they don't make him happy, they're gonna have all this welfare reforms and this and that. But I'm telling you, I'm not the type of person I would necessarily be just dropping everybody off of welfare. The first thing I would really love to do, because of how, especially how the Democrats have been hounding Americans in America lately, is I would like to go take a closer look at all of the people that they've been making deals with and siding with, and I'll give them that for their socialist cause. I'll say, whatever one's worked out. I mean, if that works out for you, you're going to go give Hamas $1 billion, and they didn't send 1 million rockets over into Jerusalem and try and kill a bunch of Jewish people over in Israel with the money, you know. It doesn't go to complete terrorists, right? I mean, they really don't want a person like me to be president, because I'll want heads to roll. I'll be so mad. I'll probably blow several vessels in my head, and I'll be in Bethesda, Maryland, getting work done on vessels that have popped in my head. It'll probably piss me off so in depthly. It'll probably upset me so direly from the what if I go and I look and I read something documents and I see, if I was president in 2016 and I went in there and I looked at all the shit that Obama was giving money to, and all the bullies in the world that he was freaking going and elbowing with, I will get I will get so mad, because who there's nobody out there that he has done any favors for that would do any favors for us. They're people like the thing that they just they just did it again on the television the other day. They said Obama went and shook hands with the Cuban president and was hanging out with the Cuban president. The guy, this guy, has kept Cubans and people down in a depression, in a depressed state, for about 60 years. They said it was about 58 years. That guy, him and Fidel Castro, have been basically torturing people in Cuba with the economics. Okay, so you want to know why a lot of people are frustrated here? It has a lot to do with our economy. You can feel it. You know, it's not just it's not just like something that you hear. You know, they want to say it's some kind of made up thing. The economy is just a made up word. Well, inflation is real, and how we feel whenever how we're out there, wherever we're at, you feel it. You feel exactly what, if you're in a depressed state or not. So, and I'm just saying, Nixon wiped the debt out in like a year. So, in the way that they've got it all to high heaven, the debt or whatever, um, I'm thinking, I'm thinking that you have to send somebody in there ambitious, like what I'm talking about, and have them actually go and pull Nixon files out and do Nixon's economy. So it's gonna scare people, but whenever you get to that point, everybody who's ambitious, who wants anything, can side with that and just tell everybody, oh, you want to serve your master. You know, if you want to go and vote for the other guy who doesn't want to do that, want to squash our debt and reform welfare for real, you know, and make the system work for people who are really disabled and people who are really hurt and stuff, and not allow people in jobs that should not be in certain jobs. Okay. Um, then we'd have to throw somebody in there and we'd have to keep real close track. And this is not all something that um, I'm talking about them being secretive about, you know. So that's really transparent. As far as the transparency goes, this guy said he was supposed to be the most transparent, like What do you mean? Like we get to hear your mouth and see your face? You know, because we don't. Where there's no way that we get the gist of all of the back uh, door deals behind the walls of what we don't actually typically get to hear ever see. Um, Deals like whenever he made that Obamacare, people knew it was a monster, but um, Nebraska got exempt from having to pay into it, but they get Obamacare. Am I right? All right. So unless they're a state that exempt themselves from it in a law, they like had a vote, say if they wanted it or not, then they can say detest it. But I believe that they have to allow people in those states that want it to be allowed to have it. So um, I don't know how that works, but the unions also, Obama also gave the unions an exemption, if that tells you anything else. See, so they've got a union master. So everybody out here has a government master, and the way it's supposed to be set up is it's supposed to be set up like, if you hire a lawyer and you go into a lawyer looks at you and says, "Oh, that you're the client, right? But you work for me." So you go see a lawyer, you pay a lawyer, and then the lawyer wants you to do all your own work. He wants you to maybe even do his work. Um, it's kind of how I feel about them in particular. I don't think they're responsible people, and I still don't see I don't see anything that qualifies them. I was I was always pointing out that like when you elect somebody, you're better off electing somebody who had been a governor too over somebody that had been a senator or a congressperson or whatever. And all they're giving us now are just senators. These people, I don't even know what their agenda is, what what their plans are. And I would really appreciate if people would ask them about, well, we could talk about what you've done in your past, all that we want, but what is your plans? Are you going to be working for us, or are you going to be working for the elitist, and are you going to work for this monster master government and still try to keep us and everybody in society controlled and keep this police state up and keep it going? What's Marco Rubio's plan? What's Hillary's plan? What's any of their plans? I I I don't necessarily think Marco Rubio is evil. Okay, I think Hillary Clinton is. I really do. But that's my opinion. So what I'm saying is he, even if he's a nice guy, even if Rubio's a nice guy, is he going to serve us as a president, our needs, or is he going to cater to himself? Is he going to cater to this union monster? Which I doubt. I doubt he'd be necessarily for the unions in particular, like Scott Walker. Um, except, these guys like Scott Walker, they've got great ideas for as far as welfare reform, probably, and more or less union reform. Because whenever you start talking about welfare, they got us already pinned down where you can't win. You know, you can't win on it. They'd rather have a huge ass high deficit that just throws more people into the welfare scenario. It just keeps, however it works, it keeps taking money away from prosperity and from people being able to prosper. And it puts them right back into a rut with everybody else that's in a rut. But if you have welfare reform, you can help pull everybody out of this rut. Like everybody wants to be in that rut. If they want to be in that rut, that says something else about people, that they just want to be depressed all the time. They don't ever want to be happy. you know. So you have depressed people who are depressed on purpose. They want a government master, and they'll argue for them, and they'll make all kinds of excuses. And now that they gave him a black guy, now now they don't even have to talk to you. They don't even have to. They don't have to even tell you squat diddly duck. They don't even talk to you about nothing. You know, that's their guy. You know, so they're just they're wishy-washy. They have been brainwashed, and they let basically this government monster master uh thing in Washington, liberal head monkey, uh come and talk shit about George Bush this, George Bush that. And the main thing that drags us along is we had a war. We have a war. So not only did they believe all the BS that we got into war for no reason and we were just trying to rip Iraq. I mean, they made all kinds of excuses that we were just going to steal their oil. No, we didn't. We paid more for their oil than anybody else. We paid with their lives, and we pay high cost for living here. People there don't pay that much for their own oil. But if they had a democracy, things would be great. And as long as it's best here for us, better it is for other countries because we extend that. It exudes from us. The energy, you could feel it. If you're happy, you could feel it. If the economy's good, you could feel it. So, anyways, so this monster comes in, and not only did did he add more debt and more ruin our economy, then he basically goes on the offensive against our military, basically, because liberals think that we poke our heads around the world, we're in places we shouldn't even belong. He was against the Iraq war or whatever, from tells you what a piece of garbage he was. He'll sit there and tell you, even though he knows he's been the president for almost 8 years, right? 2 terms now, so he knows the truth. He knows a lot of the shit that he's told and said is bullshit. It is not true about George Bush, about the war, and about our enemies and about Iraq. So, but yet still, if he had all this knowledge that he has now and knows the truth, he'd still go back in 2000, in two or one or whenever it was, and he would still vote against going to Iraq because he would rather keep a government monster be the master over his people or somebody. See something like that. Okay, so Saddam Hussein in power. Now you look at what he did with the one guy in Libya, um, Muammar Gaddafi. What they did to Gaddafi. See, Gaddafi was getting testy, and he wasn't fitting quite along the lines of what um, Obama wanted. But as soon as he did that, as soon as he aided and helped and even had our gunships go and shoot Gaddafi's people, probably even, right? Helped them get the Muslim Brotherhood or whoever's in there now out there in Libya. People killed 4 of our Americans after that happened. They ramrodded Christopher Stevens in his anus and they killed him that way. Basically, until he was dead, they did that just like what they did to Gaddafi to an innocent guy who did not deserve that, who was there just as a peacekeeper trying to help them people out or whatever they were doing. It went awry, and Obama helped put in he helped put in more evil dictators who are killing Christians or cutting people's head, little kids, because they declared that they're Christians or whatnot. He this new power master that Obama helped get put into power in Libya. They are killing innocent people left and have been ever since. So um, people aren't allowed to go on TV and and say that. I mean, I'm sure Fox News has covered a lot of that, but they've still got them. um, pretty much looking like the bastards, making Fox News look like the bastards. Oh, you watch Fox News. I don't watch Fox News. I didn't quit watching Fox News because of any of you pukes keep talking smack about Fox News either. I quit watching Fox News because Sean Hannity was having an argument with Bob Beckel, and he let Bob Beckel win on something else that Obama did. Obama made this law that said the language was that it was supposed to help women out in the workplace. It's supposed to help women to become more, we say, is that more inferior? They're supposed to be more, better stable and more. They have more protection in the work environment now. But that's not even the truth. The truth is that it is a monster, and everything that he has done adds credence and way for lawyers and the public and everybody to get all involved. So it would cost a woman, if she tried to fight with that law, it would cost her an arm and a leg. She couldn't get a lawyer to go pro bono on it, and she'd have to have a strong case. So, anyhow, serving your government master, that's what people want, um, over having their economy solved. So if you go into a job and you feel like shit and you have a bad week, just remember I said that.